this, right? And that's where we are now. Okay, all that really matters, right? Okay. Now we're gonna keep going forward. This one says some doors will close unless we. These laws will close. You see here, there's a door in the way, and there's 2 cube opening. So you review what you can do so far, right? You can jump, you can walk, right? You can move around, right? And that's really all that you can do, right? But you were presented a gun now, right? And it could do 2 things. One is if you right click, you can take a block. If you left click, you can place the block anywhere you want to, right? Just do that back and forth, right? And you can see that you're storing your blue cube inside your gun, okay? So out of all those limitations that you can do so far, what the natural thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take this blue cube with right? You can try to do left click, but you can't do anything because you don't have any. What you do is you right click. You notice the door closes, right? You try placing again, door opens. Right, so you try it on this side. Right, you can see that this door opens. This blue cube is naturally placed for you, so it's just natural just to jump on it and see if you can get over it, right? When I first went through this, you know, I didn't take the cube with me, but you later realize, you see this cube, there's an opening where you can place a cube, so you just go back, let's take this cube. Oh hey Shiva. Yeah, happy New Year's. This is Antichamber. I've already played the game and already gone through the entire thing, but I'm just doing an entire walkthrough of how to play the game. So you see this poster, and it says it's harder to progress if you're leaving things behind, right? You notice here, there's 2 different things that happen, right? If you don't place the cube, the middle one opens up. If you do place the cube, the other 2 doors open up, right? And since there's a glass in the way, I can't right click on this blue cube, right, and place it again, right? So I can't just be in here, take the cube somehow, and then have this middle door open, and just be in the middle right there, and then place it again, and then just walk out. I can't do that, right? So it seems like I need another cube, right? Because what I've seen done that is possible is I've seen a blue cube placed on top of here, right? So this door won't close, and then when I try releasing it, right, these 2 doors would be open, right? Because this one would be held by a blue cube, this first one, and the second one would be automatically open because I just took out the cube, right? So those are the 2 things I can do. But I only have 1 cube, right? So I gotta figure out where I can get another cube. I'm gonna go backwards and see where I can get another. Doesn't seem like I can get. Oh, yeah, I know it. When you go backwards, right? This is the first cube that was over here. That was open this door open, right? It seems like I can't get this cube, right? Because this glass window is in the way, right? And if I try getting it really fast and walk backwards, the door is just gonna. So I can't do that. That's not an option, right? But if you learned in one of the previous, well, you can go back again, right? And you look at the puzzles that you've done so far, right? And one of the puzzles says, there's one that talks about going backward. is in order to go forward, you may need to fall backward, like go backwards. That's baby step. This one's baby. Can't be this one. It's not. One of them that says. This one's. Yeah, here it is. Okay. So if we look here, it says a few steps backwards with key P4, right? And if you think about this, right? You go back to where we were. This is where we are so far. Right. Take this cube. Take it. Take it. Sorry. You can think about actually taking this. You could. Sorry. So when you think about this, right? You think about when you're moving forward, you're leaving behind pieces, right? So you're thinking about, can I get those pieces back if I work backwards, right? If I take the cubes that I have forward and take them backwards, what happens if I do that, right? So you move forward, you have this cube, right? It hasn't done anything for you, right? You place it here, and now you can take a cube back, right? When you're taking a cube back, you can use this cube to leave this door open and take this cube, right? And now you have an extra cube on you. And the reason why you're able to get extra cube is because you're recovering the first one that you used. And the only way you were able to get that was to use cubes that were presented to you in the future. Does that make sense? So we can go through that process. We go through here, right? I have to apologize. Alright, see you later, Shiva. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Right? You see here, you just do the same steps as you did before. Take this cube, place it here, right? Take this cube, place it right there, and keep going forward. And then you get this cube and try to go forward, but you can't, right? And that's where you've gone so far. You end up taking this cube backwards, right? And try to see if you work backwards, what happens. Right? You take this cube, end up figuring out, be able to use this cube to keep this door open. Take this cube that you first saw, right? And as you walk through the door, you can take this cube now because you don't need to go backwards, right? End up placing the cube here to open the door, and you can't really get this cube. This is impossible to get, right? That's impossible to get. But you can just use one of the cubes as a step, right? You just jump on it, just as it was presented before. Now you have two cubes, right? You have two cubes more. Place one here. And you did what I mentioned before, right? You try placing a cube up here, and then you take this, right? And see what happens. Now these two doors are open, right? Okay. Now you can place the cube up here, right? But you don't have any cubes left, so you try to figure out, how can I do this, right? The best thing that you can do is this, you could do trial and error, right? Just place the cubes like here, like in the first one, and place it here and here, right? And see what that gets you. That doesn't get you anywhere, right? If you place both cubes up here, that doesn't get you anywhere either, right? And then the other option is getting rid of this one, keeping one cube in the middle and placing it right here and see what that does. Right, and then you end up being able to open all the doors. So through trial and error, you can get through the next step. And now you've learned to always keep the cubes that you can take with you, because of that. One of the posters that says always like keep. You tend if you leave things behind, it's not right. I think it's this one. Right. This one says it's hard to progress if you're leaving things behind. So now you've learned just to take everything that you can possibly. You want to take whatever you can, even if you're not going to use it. It's still good to take it. See these two rooms here. Seems like you need 3 cubes. Right. You can see one part of it is highlighted because you place 1 cube down. Right, but you need all 3 highlighted. So you need all 3 cubes open. You can't do that yet. This poster says there are multiple ways to approach the problem. But you can do this one. Place 1. You end up opening a door that's on the other side. It seems like you need this cube. You don't need this. Well, you can't get this cube, right? Because this one leaves the door open. If you try to move forward, you can't even move forward there. Because I guess it all opens 2 doors. So you can't even. This is not even an option. You can't even take this cube because it's plus. You just have to keep going. If you notice, there is a red circle on, and if there's a red circle on there, that means if you pass through this line once, it opens for you. But if you pass through a second different line, then the door closes for you. And what that just means is, if you go through the second red line, right, it closes. And you can't go. It just means you can't go backward. So you don't need to place a cube, right, just to keep this open. It's just a way of preventing you from going backward. Trying to get cubes from previous rooms and stuff. So you gotta have to progress with that's to keep that. Open this door right here. This is what. Now you see you need 4 cubes for this, so you can't move forward. The only logical step is to go left, right? And you notice this is an elevator based on triggers. What that means is if you go through this line, this elevator door is going to go down. If you trigger the second one, it's going to go up. That's all that is. The poster says the path may not be wrong or right, it may be different. You look, the logical thing is just look up. You look down and it says don't look down. Okay? I'm not going to look down. You can look down. If you do look down, you can see an eye blinking, it closes, then you fall down. Okay. And then you see here, it says too much curiosity can get the best. You see the same step again, right? The first one pulls the elevator down. Second one, if you go through it, pulls it up. And then you end up seeing what is a similar room but a different poster. Okay. And it says when you've hit rock bottom, the only way is up. The same thing. It says don't look down. If you look down again, same thing. Okay? Even though it's a different poster. Okay? So let's not do that, right? Let's not just keep doing this in a circle. Okay? You see the same poster. Okay? So you look up and it says don't look down. Alright? I won't look down though. But there's no other way to do anything. But if you look backwards, you end up seeing a different. It's the only natural thing that you can do, right? If you can't look down, you're gonna look around and see what's the next best option to do that. And then when you look back, it ends up being a different room. the signs can